What's up, Scrappy Peeps? It's Adelpha Minky Quill, and today I've got a really fun and bright mixed media layout for you to enjoy. I am using some Basil marshmallow cardstock cut down to a 9x12 size. So this is part of my 2018 album, which I'm still catching up on. I haven't yet started 2019. It's coming. It'll get there eventually, and I am changing things up for 2019, but I'll film a separate video all about that very soon. I wanted to kind of create my own background paper because I looked through my stash and I didn't have anything that suited the feel that I was going for. I'm scrapping a couple of photos of Archie with his little journal and his crayons, and I wanted something that was arty-ish, but I couldn't find anything that had the vibe, and so I was going through my stencils and I found this one. Not quite sure of the brand though, sorry peeps, it's an older one from my stash, and I thought it kind of reminded me of colour wheels, and so I decided to watercolour my own colour wheel, and I also was excited to use this little scrap of paper. I used this paper, I think it was a couple of months ago, on a layout of my dad and Archie at my favourite stationery store, so it was perfect to use for that, and I had this bit left over, and the issue that I have with it is it's very bold and colourful, and so even though I absolutely love the paper itself, I struggle with how to use it. So if you have a paper in your stash like that, instead of using it as a complete background paper, maybe look at it for layering. It kind of gives you the enjoyment of the paper without feeling too overwhelmed by it. So for this, these are two 4x6 inch photos, and I'm just sticking them on some white printer cardstock that I had in my stash, and I felt like these photos needed a matte border, but I didn't want it to be a colour because I didn't want it to tie in with that background, so I just picked white. It was easy enough, and I've been really enjoying matting my photos on white paper lately, and I know I could probably print them with a white border, but the thing is, sometimes I like to collage my photos together like this, like multiple photos. Other times I don't feel the white border, so it's just easier to do it afterwards. So then it's time to get watercolory, and I have sped this next section up very, very fast so that you don't have to watch 20 minutes of me doing the same thing over and over again. I grabbed my Jane Davenport watercolors and just went crazy. So I went with a rainbow vibe, and as you know, rainbows are not something that I've done a lot of in past years, but recently in January I did a new video series over on Patreon called Challenge Yourself, and every month I pick a new challenging thing to have a go at, and rainbows was January, and I must say it's made me like them a little bit. I'm not going to be doing it on every layout, but I've said that quite a few times, and they seem to be sneaking on way more layouts than I expected. So there's my big noggin in the way too. Sorry about that. I went through and I haven't gessoed the marshmallow cardstock. I haven't done anything to it. I'm simply just watercolouring in different sections, and some of them I went out of the lines because it was a little difficult to stay in those really tiny skinny ones, and also some of the larger ones as well. So I kind of made it an effect. So if you ever go out of lines, just pretend you're meant to do that and make some of them overlap and some of them go a little larger. No one's going to notice, and if they do, then they're not worthy of looking through your scrapbook albums if they're going to be pedantic on something small like that. I stuck to colours that were mainly in that pencil paper it's an Amy Tan one. I'm not sure what collection it's from though, but it's probably at least 2 years old. And I, of course, avoided lime green and greens and just stuck to the other colours in the rainbow. But I think it works out well that way if you... I feel a bit overwhelmed with all the colours, so I felt here I stuck to the blues, the pinks and the oranges, and it worked out. So I'm just going through, and I kept in mind where my photo was going to go as well, because there was no point putting much colour where the photo was going to be, but I also wanted to make sure that I didn't have any white bits going over the top, like peeking out. So I did as much as I could, and then I felt a little splattery, so I just did some splatters here and there. I always try to avoid red splatters because I feel like it looks like blood splats, and so I just did pink, yellow, and then I think I did a bit of blue as well. And with the pink, I really like it when it's not as saturated, it's not as dark. So I just grabbed a paper towel and just really lightly kind of soaked up a little bit of the pigmentation in the watercolor. So then doing some more splats, and I think this helped the layout kind of look put together and look finished. I am a splatter person. I'm a splattery kind of gal, and I know a lot of people don't like splatters because they're too messy or worried about them going in the wrong direction or on the wrong spot. A layout like this is a great one to do that if you've already made a painted background. It's just part of the handmade look of your background, and if the splats don't quite go where they're supposed to, that's okay. You can always put an embellishment over the top. I have done that many times, especially when I seem to always put my finger in wet splatters as well and smudge them everywhere. I do that every time I use gold. Every second time, I would say. It's a 50-50 chance if it's going to happen. These are some new thickers from my stash. I was recently talking in a Patreon video that I don't seem to have many coloured thickers that aren't glittered. A lot of my coloured thickers are glittered, and they're a bit, I don't know, I feel like they're a bit intense on some layouts, especially if I'm doing a longer title. And so I really like these new ones. They're from Crepe Paper. I think they were released at the start of the year. Then I wanted some arty kind of bits and pieces, so I went through some of my Inky Patreon printables. These were the April ones. Yep, April ones. And I just grabbed one of the little pencil pots and paints, and then that Time for Fun is from March, my March printables. And then these tiny word strips are also from April. If you'd like more information, the link to my Patreon is always in the description below, but please don't feel any pressure to click the link or go over there or support me over there. It's just another way for you to get more content and more detailed content, a lot more videos, 8 videos a month, one every 5 days, as well as a digital printable collection every month. So now I'm sticking these down, and I kind of stuck to the primary colours, red, yellow, blue. I just wanted a little pop there. It also helped that Archie was wearing a red shirt on his red table, so it all kind of matched together. And then I grabbed one of these little Love Yous from March and just stuck that on as well. I've had a few little containers of embellishment sitting on my desk, so they've been very handy to grab and use. This is a new little organisation system that I'm trialling. I'm currently redoing my Raskog trolleys, and I had a craft room tour over here on YouTube if you want a close look at my craft room. And then I just did a new desk build, design, vlog, IKEA vlog setup on Patreon as well. And I have deleted a Raskog from my room. So far it's just one, but I think I'm going to delete 2 of them and only have one left in there. So I'm trialing a few different strategies for keeping some of my stickers at the moment, and this seems to be working well. The little sprinkly bits being in this, I think it's meant to be like a pencil holder container right on my desktop, so that I can reach it, grab it, and then put them back in there, because that's my biggest problem, is that I never put them back in. I just wanted to do a bit of journaling down the bottom here, and so I'm just writing a little something. But before I finish the video, I just wanted to wish all of the mothers, grandmothers, caregivers out there happy Mother's Day for tomorrow. I know it's not everywhere in the world, but here in Australia it is Mother's Day tomorrow, and I hope you have a fantastic day and get spoilt and enjoy a little bit of me time tomorrow. I'm very much looking forward to, I'm hoping for some nice bacon and eggs for brekkie. That's all I want for Mother's Day, just nice bacon and eggs for brekkie. All right, guys, I will see you very soon with another video. There'll be a Let's Get Inky one next week. All right, guys, bye.